other than being a member of the subgroup known as Dromaeosaurs. Velociraptor and its other sickle-clawed foot cousins were also part of the much larger subgroup of dinosaurs called Theropods, as I mentioned earlier, which means that they somewhat shared a relation to a very small extent with the big boys like Tyrannosaurus Rex, Allosaurus, Spinosaurus, Gigantosaurus, and Carnotaurus. But this wasn't a very close relation, since the only real connection between the big boys and the small boys was that they belonged to the aforementioned subgroup called Theropods. So think of them as being super long lost distant fifth cousins on their mother's father's uncle's side or something.
I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
What's that make us?
Absolutely nothing.
What does make them related by like 5% is the fact that all theropod dinosaurs, including the handful of them that were herbivores or vegans, plant eaters, was the fact that all of them stood and moved about on two legs. And to my own surprise, and most likely yours as well, the theropod dinosaurs didn't go completely extinct, since almost all modern birds are considered theropods as well. So who knows, your pet chicken could very well have been a descendant of the fearsome T-Rex at some point in the planet's history. Oh, how far the mighty have fallen. But I'm not going to go too deep into the evolution of theropod dinosaurs into modern birds, because it gets extremely complicated and convoluted, with modern birds falling into a different subgroup of the main subgroup. So therefore, not all theropods became birds, but all birds are theropods. Therefore, all modern birds are in fact dinosaurs, but not all dinosaurs became birds. But there's also the sauropods, who were not bird-like at all, and who all went extinct. But then my mind makes me wonder if maybe they aren't related to modern reptiles. But then you find out that the word reptile is more of a feeling rather than a fact, so anyone can identify as a reptile and use the pronouns cold and blooded. But then it turns out that some reptiles are actually warm-blooded and may live among us as the lizard overlords that secretly control the world through a form of shadow government and are responsible for all the UFO abductions, and that every member of the elite in society, including all celebrities, world leaders, and billionaires, are actually members of the shape-shifting cabal of reptilian humanoids, as is evidenced by the Spider-Man villain known as the Lizard, the Ninja Turtles, the Argonians in the Elder Scrolls games, and the Mortal Kombat character that is literally named Reptile. It's all in the details, people, or the fine print, just behind the veil. Society is an illusion. We live in a simulation controlled by interdimensional aliens and...
Sorry.